In 2012, I spent 40 days going from completely out of shape to training with the Shanghai Wushu Team. This is what happened. So right now I'm working on my current Wushu training challenge. I just finished week 2, but it got me thinking about previous times when I had challenged myself with Wushu. Specifically, at the end of October 2012, I was attending the top 8 Wushu competition in Gansu in Lanzhou City, and I was hanging out with Yang Yuhong from the Shanghai Wushu Team. If you ever watched those interviews I did with him where he talks about strength training or how to choreograph a form, that was from that trip. So we were chatting and I was talking about how I'd like to get back and train again, and he invited me to go train with them in Shanghai at the end of December. And I got really excited about the idea. I remembered all the really fun times I had training with them back in 2005 and 6 when I lived in Shanghai. And so I said, yeah, I'd love to come and train with you guys in December. The only problem is I hadn't trained in months. So I decided to turn it into a challenge. In the month and a half or so that I would have available, I would try to get myself in good enough shape to train with professional Wushu athletes in Shanghai. So when I got back to Xi'an, I set myself a plan. The first day I'd be able to train was November 13th, and that was exactly 40 days from the day I would be able to train with the Shanghai team. But I tried to give myself sort of a gradual ramp up. So the first day of training, I knew I would be really sore, so I gave myself a few days after that to train for the next time, just to help my body recover as much as possible. You know, keep in mind, I was 42 at the time, but here are my challenges. One, as I said, I was totally out of shape. At this particular time, I wasn't training with the Shanxi team, but I was living south of the city. It was a little bit far from where their training facility was, so I hadn't been training with them. 2, it was winter in central China. It's cold. I was going to be battling the elements because I had to train outdoors. Also, number 3, I had a couple trips planned during this time already. I would be going to Guangzhou. I had a trip to go check out the Sandan Nationals in Yulin, and I was also going to be attending the King of Kings competition in Jiangsu province. The challenge was, how was I going to train with all this traveling going on, with all these things happening? I mean, the answer is consistency, obvi, right? I mean, duh. So you might be wondering, why didn't I just start training right from the end of October? Well, I had actually had a plan to go to Guangzhou to meet up with Matt Wong, and I also got to meet Justin Eggert there, and Zhang Banjing was there. They were all there for the first International Judging Certification course in Guangzhou, China. We had a really nice time. I got to go to the Foshan Yipman and Wang Fei Hung Museum with Justin and Matt, and we kind of hung out there. Some demos and some really cool artifacts and things like that. And then I also got to attend the ceremony for the people who got their certification. A certification which unfortunately I will never be able to get myself because apparently I'm too old. But that's another story. But it was really fun to hang out there, and it actually inspired me for my training because I saw a little bit of a demo and I saw some other Wushu people and the excitement for Wushu, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start my challenge as soon as I hit the ground running. First I had to go to Macau for some work, and then I headed back up all the way on the train to Xi'an. Back then they didn't have the high-speed train, so you had to take the overnighters, and I ended up back in Xi'an on November 11th, ready for my first training November 13th at the track. Today I did my first Wushu training. I'm really out of shape. First I did a mile walking. After walking I did some stretching on the bar stretching. Then I did some basics. I did loose kicks, about 20 loose kicks. Then I did a French stretch kick, 10. Inside no slap kick, li he tui, 10. Outside 10. I did front slap, 10, just the right side. And then I did some stance work. I did mabu to mabu, horse stance, 10 of those. Mabu gongbu, 10. The 45 degree with the flash palm, Nantron palm. I also did the 3-step flash palm, Nantron step. Did about 5 or 6 of those. After that I walked through my form, just the first half of the first section, just to figure out the choreography.
and I did that about 4 times. And that pretty much winded me, and I'm sweating like crazy. I'm gonna give myself a day or 2 to rest before the next one. But I'm gonna focus on basics, on specific training interval, to get to the level where I can train with the Shanghai Wushu Team. It's gonna be brutal. Day 1's finished, time to stretch. This is like a half speed form, give or take. It's cold out here. Quarter to half speed.
Over time, I've come to realize that one thing that a sport or art like Wushu does is that we learn a lot about our deeper personality and character traits when we train. The good, the not so good, things we're happy about, and things we wish we could change. I think that when we try to self-train, we are confronted even more with them, with our motivations, with the true why we are doing Wushu in the first place. We come face to face with all of the limitations we have when it comes to training, whether those are physical, mental, or emotional. And it can be frustrating because, at least for myself, they reappear over and over throughout the training journey. It may be why some people stop training, or it may be what drives others to keep going. I've always had a high degree of respect for those who are able to self-train effectively. In previous generations, athletes like Ann Shu, Javon Holmes, Philip and Peter Dang, and others who didn't let circumstances affect them and did what needed to be done. Or in more recent times, there were so many who kept things going when school shut down during the pandemic, like Alan Pang or Brian Wong, Rebecca Chin, and many more. I've said many times that my biggest challenge is consistency, not just with Wushu, but in all areas of my life. But as I've been reviewing these videos, many of which I had totally forgotten about, I realize that I have had a few times when I managed to follow through and finish what I started. It's a reminder that just because I might have some repeating themes in my life, it doesn't mean that they need to define me. Not that the challenge doesn't exist, but at least now I have evidence that I have the capacity to overcome it. At the end of November, I was invited to watch the Chinese Sanda Nationals in Yulin City, located in the far north of Shanxi province. I had never seen Sanda competitions in China, so this was something I couldn't pass up. I won't get into too many details about the competition. I literally have hundreds of video clips from it that I never got around to posting on the channel. And I appreciate my friend Xiaomeng, who got 4th place in her weight division, and spent some time with me during the competition to explain to me what I was watching.
这一场女子70公斤级争夺进8强的比赛，最终比赛结果，红方陕西选手孟欣2比。
But besides watching all that motivational competition, I also had scheduled some time to train. And I had also set up a specific routine for training in a hotel room, so I had modified my basics in conditioning to accommodate that limitation. After I returned to Xi'an, I had a few more training sessions before I would have to leave towards Shanghai. Fortunately, Ruhi helped me film these, so you don't have to watch a single shot from a tripod on these ones.
Hear the thunder, you know that I'm on my way. Lightning strikes and then you're gonna know my name. I'm here to claim my title now. I'm here, the king that wears the crown. You better back down, you better back down. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. A champion don't need any introductions. A fighter don't know any limitations. I was made to stand on a mountain now. I was made to rise from the ashes now. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time. You're gonna know my name. Yeah, you're gonna know my name. You should know my name. Do you know my name? You're gonna know my name. Yeah, you're gonna know my name. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all.
If I could go back in time and talk to the 2012 version of myself, I think I would say three things. First, I will let him know that he's in better shape than he thinks. You know, we're often our own worst critics. Second, I would encourage him to take advantage of every training opportunity and let go of excuses and distractions. And third, I would remind him to empty space and charge the battery on his camera because unfortunately it stopped working after the first line of French stretch kicks. I left Xi'an on December 13th with my first destination being the King of Kings competition held in Taicang City in Jiangsu province, just a few miles outside of Shanghai. So first I took a train ride to Shanghai and then some commuter trains up to Jiangsu. You've probably seen footage from the King of Kings competition on the channel before. It was a competition set up by a TV station in Jiangsu with the premise of having the top 7 male and female wushu athletes in each division compete against each other in each event to see who is the King of Kings or Queen of Queens, as the case may be. What this means is that you got to see high-level athletes competing in styles that you would never see them do outside of a normal environment. Sun Pei Yuan doing Jianshu? Yeah. Liu Xi doing Taiji? Sure. Jolie performing Nanchuan? You betcha. It was absolutely fascinating. And it's always been on my list to put them on the channel. So if that's something you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments below. So that competition was over 2 days, December 15th and 16th. And after that, I went back to Shanghai. I got to watch some of the team training, which was always awesome. I have a lot of that footage up on the channel. And I also hung out with various friends, which is also always awesome. Wei Jian, who at the time was teaching at Fudan Dashui, he had retired, invited me to come check out his class. It was my first time on the Fudan Dashui campus, and he gave me a really nice tour. I did try to keep up with my stretching and conditioning while I was there, but pretty soon it was time for my training session with the team. And due to logistics, I was only able to work out with them on December 24th, which was the day before I was leaving for Beijing. I actually have the footage of that training on the channel, but here are the bits of it where I'm actually doing my own training. I did my warm-ups and then did as much as I could during the training. One thing that's interesting about how Coach Yang Rongquan coaches is that he doesn't focus on basics, at least not during certain times of the year. So everyone does their own warm-ups to prepare for full sections or sets, and that was fine with me. Since I'd trained with him before, I kind of knew his system, and it meant that I could save whatever energy I had to use for my sections work. Was it my best work? No. But did I do it? Yes, I actually did it. Looking back, I think the main improvements I made was with my endurance and strength through the range of motion. I had semi-decent flexibility, at least for me, when I started, but my stances weren't very strong and I had zero stamina. There really is something to be said for having really good endurance. It allows you to power through a lot of things even if you're limited with your flexibility or muscular power.
In the highs and in the lows, mountain tops and seas below, I know we'll always find a way home.
I think this training challenge is a good example of the expression that the journey is more important than the destination. Sure, it was fun and exciting to train with my friends in Shanghai, and I'm happy I could be there. But looking at this footage 12 years later, I realized just how fortunate I've been to have these experiences and opportunities to live where I've lived, visit where I've visited, and meet who I've met. The travels and the training that took me from Gansu to Shanghai and everywhere in between, those were the highlights of this experience. And looking forward with current and future training, I hope I can remember this important perspective as I suffer through the physical, mental, and emotional challenges that are still to come. Whew. Thanks so much for watching this look at a segment of my life. Keep training hard, and I'll see you in the next one. 加油!